Dav back again with another video, and today we're going to be doing a quick weekly market update, kind of just going over Bitcoin, the crypto market, and then some things that are happening in the markets relating to crypto and other financial things. So to get started, we're looking at Bitcoin right now, and last week or so was not pretty for Bitcoin. Just a lot of stagnant price action. We had a dump at the end of May, or at the start of May, pretty much, with the Black Swan event with Luna going to zero essentially, and then relaunching recently with a new fork. But it was a Black Swan event. The catalyst is Luna, and it finally broke out of the parallel channel we were in for pretty much the entire close to almost a year, or this 2022 essentially, the first 2 quarters, and then suddenly we had the Black Swan event tumble down. Kind of went to make lower lows that we haven't seen in a while, and we just been kind of consolidating around this 29,500 or 800 mark. We had a kind of a rally last week that saw us kind of go from 28,000 to about 32,000, but that went really, that went back down very quickly. So those are not bullish signs for me. I think that Bitcoin might follow its wick, which it usually does. So this entire section right here is right now it's uncharted territory only with this wick down. So I would not be shocked if Bitcoin went down back to 25,000. Now, if it's going down to 25,000 again, there's really nothing stopping it from going to 20,000. As we can see, there's really nothing much here. Maybe a little bit of a support at 22,500 to 24,000, but the next realistic stop would be 28,000. When we're looking at this from the daily chart, we don't really see any kind of channels happening. We just kind of see this entire price trap region right here, which is it's just been consolidating inside this entire range of like 60,000, 63,000, and 30,000. Now, when we zoom out and we go to, we're staying on the daily, but we zoom out. Let me get my object tree up here. And then we put on our channels, we see that we've been in a channel since 2019, and this wick right here actually hit the very bottom of that channel. So if we see this channel start to get broken, then we're probably going to go into lower lows. Now, when we zoom out again, and we put this next channel on here, we can see that we have been, delete that, we've been in this bigger channel for a much longer time. When we go to the weekly chart, you can see that much clearer. It actually went all the way back to back when TradingView got their data for Bitcoin. We've been in this channel growth up, this big uptrend. The only kind of wick that we had, little wick that we had out just slightly, was this one during COVID time, but it rebounded pretty well. So now, if we were to continue that downtrend, the next logical target would kind of be around 20,000, where this channel would, where it would kind of go on and meet this channel. So that's something I'm looking forward to. If it goes down here, that'd be a great buying time. However, if it continues to melt off and it breaks this kind of support, then it would be sub 10,000 essentially, if it can't find support at 10,000. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with Bitcoin. But moving forward, so some recent things that happened in the crypto sector essentially, as with accompanying the downtrend in the market, Coinbase had a lot of job offerings open, and they recently just rescinded pretty much all of them. Some people got hired and signed offers with Coinbase, turning down other offers with other companies, including some PhD candidates and stuff like that, and they all were kind of jetted to the side and kind of fired before they were hired, which is very unfortunate. But it kind of shows the status of the market right now. Everybody's kind of fearful. Even the job market isn't really looking that good for the crypto space, and we're kind of have to play it by ear and see what happens with going forward, especially with the number one exchange freezing their hiring and then rescinding a lot of offers in the same week, or 2 weeks span. So something to keep an eye out onto. The next thing I wanted to mention was, so the move to earn meta or wave was, it took the whole industry by storm about a few months ago, and Steppen has been the biggest one that kind of took the market for a ride, essentially. The whole concept of them is basically it's move to earn. So you purchase an NFT or one of their shoes, which is an NFT, and then whenever you have time that you're spending working out or walking or jogging, then you're getting paid for that time. Me personally, I don't know how that's sustainable, but so far it's been working. But they had a lot of FUD in China that did spark a lot of drop in their token price. And then recently they were just hacked, or they were under multiple DDoS attacks. So this is something that everybody's kind of watching. A lot of these big name projects are getting targeted for attacks, including Bored Ape. So Bored Ape just recently had a Discord exploit, and they lost about 200 Ethereum worth of NFTs. A lot of people were affected in the Discord. Now, I'm not personally a holder of that, so I can't go in there and see what's happening. But from an outsider's point of view, that's unfortunate for that to happen. But it shows that like a lot of these big name blue chips are targets for exploits and things like that. So something to keep an eye out for. It usually all this stuff happens at the worst time, and with the markets being they're kind of in a downtrend, in a bear market starting position. It's not really nice to see. It's see this kind of stuff whenever the projects are getting hacked or losing their funds, etc. So yeah, moving forward. So I wanted to kind of hint on AVAX and Luna. So AVAX and Luna pretty much both had spectacular growth in the last year and a half. Pretty much, they both started off under $1, and they both went on to astronomical heights. Let me see the. So AVAX went on to about 17,000% gain from its launch, and Solana here had, from its low, had about 51,000%. I guess if you go up to their initial launch, which is about her here, 34,000%, but still astronomical growth. Now, what we're seeing with these is their kind of bubble is getting popped with AVAX and Solana as well. So when we mark this up, support's right here, and we could say we're at a small support right here, or pretty significant support right here. It's in the middle, but we can see it broke through everything, and it's in a downtrend. Now, obviously, this is due to the markets being very bearish at the current moment, but for Solana specifically, there's a lot of things going on. But AVAX, AVAX has a lot of potential in the future, but at the current moment, if it doesn't see any rebound or a rally, then we could see lower prices, definitely. Now, this could definitely rebound from here and then go hit this moving average, which will probably trend down a little bit more, probably continue down like this, and then if I could definitely see it going back to the 30, and then potentially rolling over to achieve those lower lows, and maybe break the support down here at $10. Now, if that happens, then we'll be going back down to kind of pre-crypto bull run prices. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, with Solana has had some issues recently, so we'll go over this thread on TradingView. Solana went offline on Wednesday, this time for 4 hours, as a bug in its transaction system forced the blockchain to halt. Not only was this a big concern to Sol fans, but it also meant peeps were unable to buy Solana-based NFTs. Overall sales on Solana plummeted 61% thanks to the hiccup. So, and due to that, Solana fell 12% over the time. That was just recently. In this last week, we can see that Solana it was at about $60, but I would say in this last week it's fallen roughly about 18-19%. So kind of validates that investors are losing their confidence in Solana with its inability to cope with these issues. This isn't the first time this happened. I believe it happened again on May 1st. Yep, right here with Solana's Saturday Night Blackout, and then another time right now. So Solana had a really insane growth last year, but currently they're just struggling to keep the blockchain working. Now, this is this is in the second year of its launch, so it's bound to have hiccups. This is the beta version, so if Solana could figure out their issues and get going as we kind of trend into the bear, and then figure their things out in the bear market, and then have really good potential in the next bull run, then Solana would be a great buy. However, in the short term, with the markets downtrending as they are, it has a very kind of similar trajectory as AVAX, with the moving average kind of going like that, and then maybe a potential rally to touch that, and then melts off to make new lows in recent times. So, me personally, I would say my buying area would be roughly right here, or they would be down here. Now, if that is broken, then I would definitely want to see sub $5 Solana. Will we get that? I'm not sure, but that would be my general buying area. This would be if I this would only work out if I saw definite signs of a rebound in the entire market, not just Solana. I would need to see that in Bitcoin, Ethereum, the stock market as well, and then so forth for me to be convinced to buy right here. Otherwise, I will be wanting to buy sub $5 on Solana. So going forward, this is a cool website that I was referred to by a friend that gives you a lot of statistics about Solana, the chain. So definitely take a look at that. We can see that in the last, recent months, we've had a big uptrend of all these stats. So unique SOL receivers, the average amount of Solana on a wallet, the amount transferred isn't much to be dove into. So a lot of daily first signers. So just a lot more activity on the Solana chain. Now, obviously, it's paused right now because the blockchain is undergoing a bug. So something to keep an eye out for and moving forward. So the last thing I wanted to talk about was the Bitcoin dominance chart. So when we look at this, we can see that Bitcoin dominance has been trending upwards in the last 2 months or so. That means a lot of these tokens in the crypto space are losing their liquidity to or not losing their liquidity, but they're losing their investors to Bitcoin. People are taking money out of their altcoins and then moving it to Bitcoin as they see that as a more bullish future in the short term, maybe long term, but definitely in the short term. So for all season, we want this to drop off and break the support. However, since we are breaking this previous kind of trend, it is kind of a weak trend line, but we're breaking this trend right here. Could mean that we're going for more bullishness on Bitcoin dominance, which could in turn kind of see a more bullish outlook on Bitcoin in the long term. Now, if we go down here and suddenly go down to 20,000 without a rebound up to the retrace that we've been looking for up here to the 702 or 618 at the least, then we'll suddenly kind of look a little bit more bullish on Bitcoin in the long term. Maybe even back into this big parallel channel, and then suddenly we have all these numbers that are kind of seem astronomical right now, kind of more possible and plausible. But we have to see what happens with the rest of the year, and especially with this quarter coming up with the Fed and what kind of rate hikes they're going to be implementing, and then how the stock market itself kind of reacts to that. But yeah, guys, that's all I have today. I hope you guys got some knowledge from that, and definitely like and subscribe to videos or to the channel, and hopefully we'll see you on the next one.